And today, okay, let's get it. And
Repeat,
today,
please.
huh?
Repeat, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Today, we have like the first such like interview or like online event together with our like mentor and ambassador, Marcellus. And I will ask Marcellus to tell a couple of words about himself. But like at the very beginning, who am I and what we are doing? My name is Svetlana Malovana, and I'm CEO and co-founder at Teampulse. And in Teampulse, we help companies to keep their employees engaged with the help of wellness challenges. And like our background is actually like physical rehabilitation and physical health. But once me and my co-founder Alex identified that like we helping other people to recover faster, we become like victims of sedentary lifestyle because all the time sitting near our laptops and developing something like to help other to rehabilitate faster. That's why we decided to launch Teampulse. And actually, Marcellus is one of the people who are trying to help us and help desk officers to be more proactive and actually like fight sedentary lifestyle. So, hi, Marcellus, can you say a couple of words about yourself?
Oh man, what a great opportunity this is today. I'm so honored right now to be a part of this. My name is Marcellus Venable, but most people call me Coach. You'll understand. I know it sounds a little cliche, but you'll understand why they call me Coach. Once I have lots of energy, so I'm going to let you guys know right off the jump, right, that I wear crazy glasses and I come with a lot of passion, with a lot of energy. So hopefully you guys are prepared for that. But about me, I've been a fitness trainer for over 20 years. I have my own private business, which is a body transformation for women. In the last 8 years, I've been the lead fitness specialist for NASA. I'm here in the headquarters. Yes, if you want to know some fun facts, I have trained some astronauts. What do I do? My main thing is that to get people to become the best version of themselves, and that's going to involve how do you change, how to implement different programs, and then also just the mind body transformation and understanding how to implement a program that's centered around your fitness needs and goals.
Okay, great. Thank you like for the introduction, explanation, your background. So yeah, let's talk today about like sedentary lifestyle. So can you explain why it's a problem, like this kind of new reality called sedentary lifestyle, and like who are active people, who are inactive people? Because like from my perspective, people often think that if I'm visiting like twice per week gym, but the rest of the week I'm like sitting most of the time near laptop, I'm like enough active. But like, can you explain like your position regarding this question?
Yeah. There's so many terms that are being used out there, right? So the number one thing is that we have to understand if you're active, that means you're getting 150 minutes a week of exercise, 75 minutes of vigorous exercise. So the 150 is moderate exercise. The 75 minutes is vigorous. All right. So then you move to the physically inactive. Physically inactive means that you're getting less than that 150, that 75. Sedentary is even less. And then the sedentary lifestyle means that you are sitting, you are laying down, you are doing nothing for 6+ hours. So it's kind of, I like to phrase it in that way and put it in the categories that way so people can understand where I fall in these particular categories. So if you're getting, what is that, 2.5+ hours worth of exercise per week and it's moderate, then you're good to go. But if you're looking at yourself and your activity, and you're less than, an hour, a week, you know what I mean? Because you're sitting all day, then you're falling in that sedentary lifestyle. And that sedentary lifestyle is something since the COVID-19 pandemic that has been taken over a lot of people's lives.
Can you maybe like explain in some, like give maybe some tips how to schedule it? Because like you are talking that we have like to have like this number of minutes like active some trainings, this number of like just like steps or something like that. How actually to schedule it? Because we are talking right now about people who are very busy,
Mhm.
and they are so busy that they even cannot have like enough time for their health. But like from my perspective, they will not like calculate all this like kind of activities. So like what might be very easy like tips how to schedule it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The number one thing is that let me ask everyone a question. How long do you have? How long do you have that we're going to play this game, right? We know that we're busy. So how long are we going to play this game where we really go down, and then what good you going to be to your team, to your family, to your spouse, to your job? I say all of that because we need to start putting ourselves on the front burner. We really need to start to understand that this self-care, that we really have to hone this in. We really have to put our own selves on our own schedules. Now, what I'm saying is that, if I have a very busy job, that doesn't mean that, tomorrow I'm going to be going to the gym every day for an hour. No, that's not what I'm saying. You have to block off time, just like you block off time for meetings and luncheons and conferences. Why can't you put yourself on your own schedule? Say, hey, Marcellus, or hey, Svetlana, I'm going to put myself down. I have 10 minutes here. So at 9 o'clock, I'm going to go for a walk. And when I go for this walk, it's not like I'm trying to be vigorous with it, or, oh, I'm trying to really break a sweat. All I'm trying to do is to break this cycle of sitting all day. So this sedentary lifestyle has us sitting down. But what happens is, right, when the pandemic hit, everyone was trying to come back too soon, too fast, and they were trying to get back to the gym. And guess what? They couldn't do it. So the goal here is plan yourself on your own schedule. And it doesn't have to be an hour, 2 hours. Take a break, partner up with somebody at your job. Say, hey, Svetlana, are you free at 9 o'clock? Yes, I am. Hey, let's go walk the hallways of our job. We're just going to walk for 10 minutes. And this starts to break that habit. It starts to break that cycle, to get us out of our chair, to break the monotony. That I can go on and on of how we can implement a lot of different things to kind of break the schedule. We think too much of what the world and the industry says, that you need to go to the gym to get in shape, and you got to do X, Y, and Z. No. The number one thing is put it on your schedule and don't break the appointment that you made with yourself.
So in other words, you say that you say that it's so important that like be physically active. It's not only like about fit, it's also about like your health, your energy, your productivity.
Yes. If you have stairs in your house, or if I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, I can start marching in place. I'm getting myself warmed up. I'm doing something active. Maybe when I get to my job, right, I work on the second floor instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. If I'm driving into work, why do I park far away and then walk? All of these things add up. We have this mindset that I need to get this done on a treadmill. I need to be on an elliptical. I need to be outside running. I need to be sweating. No, the idea here is this sedentary lifestyle is a pandemic. It's taken over, and it's hurting people's lifestyle. So the number one thing is be easy with yourself. Right? So take a break, 10 minutes worth of walk, take the stairs, you know what I mean? Walk from the metro or the transit, you know, there's so many different avenues that you can take. At the end of the day, it's more of breaking away what I'm doing right now, sitting down.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. By the way, I also like searched some like reports and like some scientific studies that actually proved that sedentary lifestyle and like physical inactivity decrease even like productivity up to 30 or 50%. So it
Yes.
seems like too much, but it is so. You start sitting, you're not active, it's influence on your mood, on your mental state, and so on. And the
Yes.
opposite situation, as you mentioned, like if you're going like in the morning to bathroom, you can switch on some music and dance, for example, a little bit.
There you go. You have to find something that you like, right? If you like the hula hoop, right? Or you like the dance. I gave a challenge to some people here at NASA, and it was like, man, I don't like the treadmill. I don't like to do cardio like this. I said, do you like to dance? I sure do. I said, pick your favorite song, and I want you to dance, right, through the entire song. And they came back to me and was like, oh my goodness, what a workout that was. I said, did you stop? They said, I had to stop. I didn't realize how long, like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, like some of these songs are, and you're keep moving, what it does. You know, that is the whole idea of what we have to do. This sitting, right? This sitting, it affects our mood, right? It affects our performance. It affects our productivity. It affects so many different things. Why? Because things are just being shut off. I'm sitting here, circulation's being cut off. I'm sitting here, I'm not burning no calories at all. So it affects the body in such a big way that we really seriously need to sit down and understand, like, this is no longer a game. We can no longer play this game called I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I hate to put it that way. I'm not a hard coach. I just have passion. I love what I do. And the thing is that I'm seeing too many people missing work because of, you know, joint issues, things outside of being sick or things to that degree. They're missing work because they're in pain. Why? Because they're sitting wrong. They're not active. And what I'm saying and what my mission is here is I want everyone to be selfish. And we think about selfish as being a bad word. It's not a bad word. I need to take care of me, because if I go down, how good am I to my job, to my spouse, to my community? We have to understand that we have to take this seriously. And I'm not saying you got to be a gym rat, a gym buff, or any of that stuff. We have to take this self-care very seriously. Our sitting at our workstation all day, and I hate to frame it this way, is killing us.
Every time I'm listening to you, I just want to add that it seems like physical activity, it's some kind of like Maslow pyramid, yeah, like the basis of our like health, productivity, and everything. And
Yes.
yeah, so we already discussed that you can like schedule some like interesting morning, like with dancing in the bathroom. You can also like use some tips to visit like gym. But what about like working day? Because a lot of people they just like start sitting, yeah, like they are with their laptop in the morning and just like do breaks to go like to a restroom or to have a lunch, and that's it.
Yes.
How to schedule their working day?
Well, the first thing is that one thing that I see, and that's how I came up with the Desk Fit program. Um, this material here, it's exercises and stretches that you could do at your own desk. The number one thing that we do when we sit down to go to work, we boom, power it on, and boom, we're right away, we're typing. We're going right into things and we're trying to go right there and work. So the thing is that we can warm up our body even at our workstation. Our carpal tunnel syndrome is sneaking up, it's climbing the pop charts of why people are missing work, because their wrist is no longer able, it's just stiff because we're typing all day. So what I'm implementing, or what I'm saying to everyone is that you can do exercises and stretches at your own desk. We have to make an effort, right? An effort to move. I can be right here and get my shoulders. I'm still sitting, but I'm warming up my shoulders. I can flex my hand back and forth like this to stretch or warm up our wrists. Our bodies are screaming, saying, I'm in pain, and we're ignoring it. We're ignoring. So what do we have to do? We have to understand, and I'm talking to all of the people that are on here, whether you're high management, your HR, we really need to start implementing a strategy, because people are in pain. And I'm pretty sure that, do we have this type of workstation? Can I get this certain chair? Can I get this stand-up desk? You know, people are in pain. So what I'm saying is that we need to implement a strategy to be able to get people to be able to be a little bit more active while they're working.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sometimes, like it's so common and regular pain and decrease of like productivity, negative influence of our health. It's so like regular and common thing that we stop, we are not actually see it. This is, I think, the problem. So I totally agree that like HRs and like CEOs of companies, they have start thinking about it and working of some like I don't know, like it has to be part of corporate culture. I know that it might be not the first topic, especially in like some recession times, but they have started to think about it right now. Otherwise it will be like too late, because they will have like not productive employees who will not bring them value.
Yes. And here at NASA, they are known for meetings. I mean, 3, 4 hours long. So now if they have meetings here, they will call upon me to come up to do what they call a meeting break. And it's like a stretch out period where I'll take 10 to 15 minutes just to get them to stand, to stretch, to just get things moving a little bit. And again, and it does wonders. We don't understand, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day adds up. And your joints will thank you for it, because they're like, I'm stiff. Can you stretch me? You know, when I was featured in the NPR article, right, that was one of the quotes that they quoted me on, is that our bodies listen, they hear everything that we say. And what we're doing, we're ignoring it. Our wrist said, I'm in pain, but we don't do anything until we have carpal tunnel. My fingers hurt, but we wait till we have rheumatoid arthritis. My shoulder hurts. We have to wait till I have a rotator cuff issue. My hip hurts. I have to wait until I may need to have labrum surgery, or I have to have a hip replacement. Our like sciatica, our nerve, like we're in so much pain, but we ignore it. We ignore it and until it's to the extreme. My job is, and what I love about what Teampulse is doing, is that we're coming in and saying, hey, corporations, hey, businesses, guess what? We need to open this door, and we need to start to release this pain that my employees are in. Can you imagine how, if your employees were paying to work feeling good and was pain free? Oh my goodness, you're talking about productivity and product and performance going through the roof. We're always worried about revenues and profit margins if I'm in that business, right? But we never think about, what's the pulse on my employees? Are they in pain? Do they hurt? Do I need to implement something? Is our meetings too long? Do we need to get up? Do we need to do something where our meeting's not going to be inside? Maybe we can do a meeting outside. It's nice out. It's springtime. It's summertime. Can we do something like that? We got to break this monotony, this same way of thinking. And my job is to get you to think outside the box. Because again, think about if your workforce is no longer able to do the job that they're doing right now. And exercise is the best medicine.
Nice, I love it. Actually, regarding active breaks, we suggest like to do active breaks every like 30 minutes, maximum every 2 hours, just like for a few minutes to do like some like light stretching that can be done even in the workplace. Marcellus, can you like show like some examples so maybe we can do together like of something very easy that can be done?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Like,
all right.
Boost energy.
Yes. All right. So it's a simple one. So I want everyone now, if you're sitting down, I want you to sit on the edge of your chair. So even if you have a chair that rolls, make sure that your feet are planted. Make sure that I'm on the edge. I feel secure. And I just want you to have your arms straight down. So this is so easy. All I want you to do now is I want you to turn east. That means turn to the right. So turn, look to the right, come back to the center, look west, turn left, turn to the center, look up to north, and then down, look down to south, and then bring it back up. How did that feel? Some of us, right, when I'm turning to either direction, I may feel a certain pull, right? Or going looking up because of we're looking down all the time, right? We've developed our neck, a forward neck tilt. It might be difficult for us to be looking up. So just take those food for thought, take that in mind to see if that was you. All right. The next one here, all I want you to do now is I want you to bring your shoulders up to the ears and then bringing them down. Bring them back up and then back down. Good. Bring them back up and then back down. Good. So now next one here, I want you to get your thumbs up like this. Say yes, thumbs up, right? Now all I want you to do now is turn your thumbs down. There, and then turn them back. Turn them down. Now keep that going. Everyone that's out there, keep that going. I'm just going to talk to you. So again, some of us, right? Some of us, when I have my thumbs like this, some of you, if you notice, your thumbs are like this. Okay, that's because of always typing with using our thumbs. We may also see when I turn my thumbs down that my shoulders start to hunch like this. Yes, there we go. That's very good. Yes. So there's simple things that we can, simple things like that. We can also, all right. So let's get our feet nice and planted. I want everybody to stand up and then sit back down. There you go. Stand up and then sit back down. Yes. It's just simple things like that. It's simple things of just taking your wrist and going up like this, right? See me here and flexing them down, up and down, up and down. You'll be amazed if I sit and I do these exercises and I do that throughout the day, how good your body will start to feel, how your joints will still have its mobility. We're losing our flexibility in most of our joints because guess what? I'm like this all day. I have a mouse. I'm typing. We're always like this. Also, like everything now, I'm reading, I'm down, everything is down. That's why we started to see what? Everyone having that hunchback because we're constantly leaning over and looking down. And that's why a lot of back injuries are happening at the job. Why carpal tunnel is like number 2, right? Reasons why people are missing work. So we have to take care of our wrists and our knees and our back and our hips. and then our necks. We forget about these things. We're always worried about going to the gym and having, muscles and, getting slim and losing weight and things to that degree. But, if I'm at my job and I'm sitting 8 hours a day and I'm not doing anything with my joints, or I'm not doing stretching and stuff like that, I'm telling you now, I'm not a bearer of bad news. You know the deal. Is it going to get better? No, we know it's going to get worse. So let's nip it in the bud and let's do something right now. And Teampulse is, we're here to, break through all of that.
Thank you for very, very good explanation why it's important, because one of the, I don't know, like one of the stoppers that I personally face when I'm talking like to CEOs or like HRs, that come on, that's it, only like this very like easy like exercises, like physical activity, it's more like about some I don't know, like more hot workouts, not like this. But I think that you explained very well why it's important and how actually it's works.
Yes. And that's the thing. It's, I'm also a posture specialist. And what happens is, we start to develop tilts, right? As I start to work more, right? I may start hunching a little more. It doesn't matter. I may cross my legs. I might lean to a side, anything like to that degree. We're putting different stresses on the body. So I may have a left shoulder tilt and I'm typing like this. And then, there's so much pressure and stresses that are on the body. And something simple like this is the way to go. Now everyone is trying to move to this standing desk. Is it a good idea? It's a good idea. It's for some people, right? Because if I already have, I'll show you here. So say for instance that, right, I have a left hip tilt. My left hip is higher than my right. And I'm like this, right? So now what do you think is going to happen when I go to a standing desk? I'm going to have the same thing. So a standing desk, you have to be ready for it. And even if I have a standing desk, I'm not standing all day. I'm utilizing that as a break. I can do that for, 30, 60 minutes or whatever. So I'm teetering back and forth from standing and sitting. So again, it's a buzzword. Now we have what? Now we have treadmill workstations where I can walk on a treadmill and do my work. And I won't get into that, what my opinion is about that. But yeah, the number one thing is that we need to start somewhere. Stop worrying about like, is it vigorous? Am I burning calories? We're addressing a big problem, and that's the sedentary lifestyle. And it starts by starting somewhere. Something is better than nothing. And if I'm in a position where I can feel these aches and pains, if I can feel the ache from turning my head side to side, this is where we need to start. This is where we need to start. We have to start to implement these simple exercises, these simple stretches, start taking breaks, start taking care of ourselves before I'm not going to be able to even turn my neck.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about like motivation, because like on one side, I think everyone has to be like interested to be physically active, because we already discussed that it's about like productivity, it's about health, it's about longevity of our life and so on. But at the same time, people are looking for some like motivation, and they are so busy with their life that they don't have time for their health and like etc. So we in Teampulse try to motivate them with like challenges, where like this part of gamification, socialization, like leaderboards, who is the winner,
Yes.
better.
Yes.
It actually works. What do you think about it? And like, how do you see how to motivate yourself to be physically active?
Yeah, that all those things are great. We just have to be the personality of our workforce, because sometimes the word challenge for somebody, it gives a challenge. Oh no, you know what I mean? So you really have to understand what the pulse is. Some people like the challenge, some people like that competition kind of type of stuff. We had something here that we did, it's called NASA Moves. And basically, you're just inputting the number of steps that you've done. And it's a conversion where even if I do gardening, it converts over the steps. You just put in your time and it converts over the steps. So you might be able to find people within the organization to be like, hey, I just want to form a group. We're going to be the 5,000 steps a day group. Or we're going to be a group called We're Just Getting Ourselves Started group. You know what I mean? We have to encourage, we have to promote that. We have to start somewhere. So a challenge, like some people like challenges where it's like, ooh, do this and make it a competition where I can now see numbers. But for some other people, they back up in the corner and say, no, that's not for me. And they get frightful of that. So if we can open up something and open it across the board where it's like, hey, me and Svetlana, we're going to team up. You know what we're going to do today? We're going to do 7,000 steps today, and we're going to work on being consistent of getting 7,000 steps a day. And then here's the kicker. If I don't make the 7,000, it doesn't become like, oh my God, I'm bad, I suck, oh man, all this. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Again, we have to start somewhere. We have to give ourselves permission to do these things, right? And we have to give ourselves the wiggle room to get ourselves on the path. It's sedentary lifestyle. So you really expect that you're going to be walking 10,000 steps a day? That's what the industry tells you what they want to do. Walk 10,000 steps. So what if you only do 3,000? You think you're going to do 7,000? Come on. That's what I am. I'm keeping it real. So be thankful or be ecstatic the position that you're in right now. If you look at all these different trackers and you can see that I'm only doing 3,000 steps a day, guess what? Now increase it to 3,500 or maybe go to 4,000 and then track it and then watch where you get to be.
Yes, actually, that's what we also agreed not to do, like in Teampulse, not to judge, not to shame people who do not want to take part in challenges. And we also advise like employees who like some of the group agreed to take part in the challenge, and they like telling me that their colleagues do not want to take part. And then like start like, like some kind of bullying them that, oh, come on, why you don't want to take part and so on. And I always say them not to do that. And the opposite situation, then we are not judging people who do not want to take part in the challenge. After a few days, they are watching, and sometimes or even often they want to join because like they see that it's funny, it's some kind of like, like engagement between people. And like in a few days, they start thinking, oh, how to join to the challenge and so on.
Yes. And I love that, you know what I mean? Those exercise snacks, you know what I mean? Things to that degree, And then also like these challenges, it is, you know what I mean? Maybe like, hey, the challenge is for this group. We're going to do collectively together. We are going to do 100,000 steps, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. Everyone is contributing. So the inclusion part is good, where we can then all start to motivate and encourage one another. Then we can be like, okay, I'm working in a certain group. We know that at 9 o'clock, 9:30, whatever it is, as a group, we're going to make sure that we are doing our exercises. We're going to take 10 minutes before we even start getting down and dirty with our job, we're going to take time to be able, and you can bring your coffee with you. You can bring your tea with you. Make it fun. That's what it's all about. It shouldn't be like, oh, it's so rigid, like, oh, like a chore. It's like, hey, Slavana, we're going to 9 o'clock. You know what time it is. Bring your coffee, bring your smoothie, bring your tea. Let's go to the conference room. Let's go ahead and start getting our exercise. Let's get ourselves warmed up. Let's talk. Let's get ourselves warmed up. Let's have a good, before we sit down and then we start going at it like this. We just have to, you have to keep it fun. And we have to stop being so hard on ourselves. That's the number one thing. Again, put yourself on your schedule. Link up with other people at your job and be like, hey, be my accountability partner. We're going to help each other out on this thing. And that's where things start to steamroll. That's where it starts to go.
Yeah. Marcelos, I will ask you to think about like some takeaways for the audience. So what they can like take and just like bring to their life to be more physically active, more healthy, more productive. And while you are thinking, I also want to ask the audience to ask maybe some other questions you have to Marcelos. Yeah, like you just can leave questions in the chat.
Yes, please do.
And
Takeaway. I talk a lot. I have so much to say, but I hope so. What I hope the takeaway is that you learned something. I hope that it was just one thing that you were able to take away from this, and the takeaway is that it made you think, maybe looking at something a little bit differently, thinking outside the box. Maybe it is jump starting some ideas that you might want to implement for yourself, for at the job, and that's what I'm here for. I am here to help and to get people to think about fitness and exercise totally different, because at the end of the day, what is being fit means to you? What does being healthy means to you? And you need to write that down. It's not for me. It's not for Svetlana. It's for you. What does it look like? And that's what we've gotten out of. We are always comparing ourselves amongst ourselves. We're always looking at the world, and the world is always telling us that we need to do this. The industry is saying, I need to eat 6 times a day. I need to drink 128 ounces of water a day. And all, I didn't mention any of that. And you have to start somewhere. Even if you're only drinking 1 bottle of water a day, guess what? That's a starting point. So guess what? Now make that 7 times. Do that 7 times in a week. Okay. And when you accomplish that goal, give yourself a round of applause. Be grateful. So then now you have something to build on. We're always trying to go all in too soon, too fast. So those are the things that I hope you guys can take away, that we have to give ourselves a little bit more wiggle room. But on that wiggle room, we also have to understand that this self-care, this being selfish, needs to be implemented.
Yeah, agree. Oh, also, I hope that from my perspective, people are ignoring often like physical inactivity. And like from my perspective, I hope the audience will also take away that what is actually to be physically active and physically inactive, like the difference between these like definitions, this state.
Yes. And here's the thing, with the sedentary lifestyle, it swallows us, right? Now we have all of this, we have these like people like to play these video games, or with the streaming services now, there's no commercials. So that's when people are talking about binge watching. You know what I mean? I just binge watched an entire series. So if you think about that, that's like 6 to 8 hours right there of you laying down, sitting down, doing nothing. And guess what? They've given this a term, and people and sometimes we're proud of it. Oh, I just made it through. I caught up with my season. But then on the flip side, then you'll get upset and mad because I did all of those things. So we have to understand, we got to start separating and start getting real with our own selves and start to understand, all right, what am I doing? What type of small changes can I make? All right. All right, I'm trying to catch up on the show. Maybe watch 1 hour or 2 hours and then go for a walk, right? Then come back, watch a couple more and do something else. Break it up instead of just sitting there, laying down and watching this thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Make it fun. Make it fun. Make it fun.
Okay, I have a few personal questions to you.
Okay.
What motivates personally you to be active, to train other people, to explain people like how to motivate themselves?
Oh, wow. I've been active all my, you know what I mean? I've been active since I was a little boy, I was very involved in sports. So for me being inside, I'm always outside. I'm always doing something. I'm always active. So telling my story is I've always been active, always. The pandemic did sit me down. I did fall victim to it, to the sedentary lifestyle because I stopped working out. I fell off the wagon and started eating everything. I'm a fitness trainer, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I love my ice cream. You know what I mean? And I was eating that stuff like all the time. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I don't feel good. So, but I wasn't hard on myself. I was like, okay, I got to get myself back into this. I got to get myself back into it. So I started taking small walks. I started doing a little bit of exercise. I wasn't all in like that, even though I've been doing this for a very long time. It was hard for me to get back. It still is difficult for me right now because, I'm not where I was before, 6 days a week of working out. I'm not there. I'm like at 4. I'm still working on it, but I'm not beating myself up over it. You know what I mean? So again, if we take small, and believe me, it started out going twice a week to build myself up to 4, So we have to give ourselves a little bit more grace, a little bit more wiggle room. And we have to really start to think about things differently. And what motivates, I love what I do, Svetlana. I love being a coach. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because it's just the relationships. It's about getting people to understand that it's okay to make a mistake because most people didn't go to school for, nutrition, exercise. It's just a given, So I love what I do because just to prepare people to be able to come up with a plan that is specific for themselves, to feel good about themselves, to appreciate embracing what they have. A lot of times being in this job that I have is like people are so stressed out and so frustrated, so overwhelmed about things that they have no control over. And that's why I'm really big on the campaign of, self-care and being selfish. Yeah. So motivating wise, man, I don't really need too much motivation. It's I'm wired that way. I really am. I'm just wired that way.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with us. From my side, I do like the goals that I have, like some personal goals, like business goals, like whatever. But when you start planning something, you face some problems, and it's sometimes or often very stressful. But some kind of gamification when you like start looking at every like problem as a, oh, let's figure out how can I like solve it, and watch on the situation with some like gamified eyes. That's really like, motivate me to reach the goal.
I
uh
love it.
yeah, this is
I
like
love it. That's great.
okay, so dear audience, we have like final minutes for like your questions, and I think like Marcellus will be happy to answer. We have one: how important is sleep in normal physical activity?
Oh man, sleep is everything. That's when the body is able to recover. But what's happening? People are distracted by the phone, distracted by the TV, distracted by what I have to do tomorrow, bringing work home with them, bringing the stress home from the day. We have to learn how to release. We have to learn how to, when I'm on this, I got to learn how to put this thing down and put it away. You know, it does so much damage. The reason why that I'm even wearing glasses, because during the pandemic, I was spending more time on the computer, and then the blue light, all that, I don't know the terminology, it started messing with my eyes. We have to, if we have to understand, like we all know sleep is important. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to talk about that sleep is important. What we have to talk about is that why aren't you getting enough sleep? And then if we start to understand that, and it's a personal thing for me, this is only me. And this is me. I only require 4. I only require 4. And people's like, oh, that's bad, bad, bad. Check my vitals. You know what I mean? I only need 4. That's just me. The other thing is that you have to understand you. I understand me. So I need you guys to understand yourself. How many hours do you need? And then what are you doing to wind yourself down so that you can get restful sleep? It's all a plan.
I think it's super important, but it's also uh like you refilling your energy when you're sleeping. So I think like it's very important. Like you work with your with the stress, like with everything while you're sleeping. So
Yeah, we
sleep
take all
is
that
like
with us. It's just like I'm getting ready to go to sleep, but then I'm worried about tomorrow. In my head, my brain is always working. And it's like, why we don't get enough sleep? Why am I waking up? Because oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this tomorrow. I got this meeting tomorrow. No, 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 no. And it constantly keeps going. We don't turn it off. So then now I wake up, and then what's the first thing that I do? Let me get my phone. Let me scroll through social media. Now I'm up even more. Now I have my TV on. There it is. There it is. There it is. We have to understand, when are we going to cut this stuff off? We know sleep is important. We know that it is. So what time are you going to bed? I have consultations all the time. What time you go to bed? And they're all between 10 and 1. So one day it's 10, one day it's 12, one day it's this. You know what happens with that? That throws the cycle off of our body. It's like this. It has no idea what it's going to do. Are you taking me to bed at 10, or tonight a late night? You know what I mean? There's no consistency. And that's what our body likes, consistency. But we're always one day on, one day off. Oh, let me go here and then take it off. I hope that that's making sense.
yeah, definitely. Okay, dear audience, do we have any other questions to Marcellus?
Dang, did I do that bad of a job?
Well, I think like it was a lot of useful information, and I hope at least that it was like some kind of information that you have to rethink about it and understand how to bring more physical activity into your life.
Yeah, and I'll add this here. I know a lot of people, and I'll go out and do a lot of talks here within NASA and even outside of NASA, right? Everyone is looking for me to give them this magic pill. where we live in a lifestyle where it's abracadabra or the microwavable society. Let me put something inside a microwave and boom, it's done. Now we're starting to see, like, even with drugs, let me get a shot. Let me get a cortisone shot. Let me take this, all of these things that are band-aids. We're always band-aiding the problem. For me, as a coach, I like to get to the root of the problem. That's all it is. I'm just telling the truth. This is just my opinion. Everyone might have a different opinion, but for me and my approach, my philosophy, right, is let's get to the root of the problem. And know what the root of the problem is? It involves you. It doesn't involve me. It involves you. I want you to understand your makeup, your mindset. And if I'm in pain, I need to do something about it. Exercise is the best medicine, but it doesn't have to be the exercise that you think that it is. I'm just trying to get you to think outside the box. That's all it is. Yes.
Thank you, Marcellus, for joining us today and for sharing your experience, for explaining how does it work. It's always like a pleasure to talk with you. Okay, we have how I can.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. How do you know? How many times do you hit the snooze button? Or when you get up in the morning, do you still feel tired? If you start taking, this is why it's important. Like, I understand that they have all these apps, but are we paying attention to these apps? A lot of these apps are keeping track of this stuff, but are we following through and paying attention to the apps? Or we can journal. Oh, I got this amount of sleep. How do you feel in the morning? If we start to journal, or we start to pay attention to these apps and the information that it's given us, then we start to understand, right, how many hours I truly need. I know mine. I'm 4. You know what I mean? If I get like 6, oh man, I'm dragging.
Yeah, there is like some, some regular suggestions, but I also think it's like very personal. You just need to clarify what is comfortable for you. Also, it's very important, like, what's going on in your life right now, because if you are like in some more quiet mood, like it might be like less hours, but if you are all the time under some stress, you're very busy during the working day, it might be more hours for your health, like to get back your energy and feel yourself better. So I
Yeah,
think it's also
big time, because we think about it: stress, frustration, put all those words. Know what it does? It sucks your energy. It tenses up your muscles. You know what I mean? So we have to find a way to, like, release. Breathing. There's so many apps that are out there, right? We need to start to really get consistent with it. You know what I mean? For myself, before I go to bed every night, I sit there in the dark and I implement a breathing strategy. I learned certain things. I'm not a person that's going to sit there and meditate and do all that. No, that's not me. I've implemented my own way that works for me, and it's like 15 to 20. Sometimes it's even more. I'm breathing, I'm exhaling, I'm feeling the rising of my chest, and I'm feeling that exhale. It could be music, playing it's something that's going to put you in that state so that you can get rest. It's also putting you in a state, because guess what? Stress doesn't get you anywhere. Frustration doesn't get you anywhere. Like something that happened to us in the past is not going to get us anywhere. Time keeps on ticking. It keeps going. And the more and more I fall into the trap of being stressed, of saying, oh, woe is me. Oh my goodness, I'm not working out. Oh, I suck. I'm never going to get this. Guess what that's going to do? That that weighs on your body, and it sucks the life out of you. It makes
Yeah.
you older.
I used to do like some light stretching in the evening. It's also like help to work with the stress in the body.
Love it.
I think it's also might be the useful tip. I really hope that a lot of like people here now have like some list of tips how to be physically active, like in the morning, during the working day, what to do like before you go to sleep, with your body, with breathing, with stress, and so on. I hope that we will do like such discussions on a regular basis, because this is very important thing, and I think we have like to share this vision, to share these tips with the world. So thank you again, Marcellus, for joining us today and sharing your experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yes.
bye-bye. Have
See
a
you.
great
Bye-bye.
day to everyone.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.